Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up, Team Tobias? What's up, Providence, Rhode Island? This is Quelling Your Query Conundrums with me, Lane Haymont, and Ann Rose.
Can you mow my lawn? Maybe mow my lawn. And then you always have a good, funny thing to say. I have nothing funny to say.
I don't think I ever have anything to say funny, but that you always do.
You bring
Okay.
us in, like the hello San Francisco, eat some sourdough bread. There you go. That's the tie-in. Go eat some sourdough bread. And I mean real sourdough bread, because you do not get sourdough bread anywhere but in San Francisco. Like, that is real. San Francisco.
Is that true?
Yes.
Since when?
Since forever. Have you ever not had San Francisco sourdough?
Yes.
It's the best.
Okay.
You haven't noticed how much superior it is? Okay, subscribers, tell Lane how much San Francisco sourdough is better than all the others.
Apparently. Take us away.
Take us away. All right, so this is our, we're rolling through. We've done this. You see me in the same sweater for 3 weeks now. I swear to you that I have taken a shower and have washed my hair between when you were seeing this and when we recorded this. So
lies.
I never wash my hair, really. No, I do. I wash it too often, probably. But anyhow, we are going to go through another wonderful query. And actually, I picked this one for you, Lane.
Ooh, now I'm excited.
So I'm going to read it, and then we're going to go through it, and we're going to break it down. And yeah, so I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on this one. So
me too.
Greetings, agent. Okay, I'm going to pause here because I really like that. Greetings, agent. I don't know. I like it a lot. So anyway, title is a 41,000 word. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Okay. Also, disclaimer, I'm going to stumble and mess this up. So just go with me, and I'll pronounce names wrong. It's just what it is. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Title is 41,000 words of survival, self-discovery, and found family in a middle grade horror. I know. I knew you'd be excited.
Love it.
It hosts a game held by a town in the suspenseful manner of the Bell Woods game by Cecilia Crampion? Do you know who that is? No? Okay. Also, it features an atmospheric tone with an 11-year-old surviving in the woods like Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. And Maureen is a young girl coping with death like in Izzy at the End of the World by K.A. Reynolds. 11-year-old Marine, M-A-R-N-I-E.
Marianne?
No, there's no A in it.
Marine?
Marnie. It must be Marnie. Marnie. That, y'all, we are tired.
Y'all.
Week. So, okay. 11-year-old Marnie Higgins is the cherished child of her isolated town. No school, no chores, no responsibilities. Her love for exploring often leads her to the town's boundary, where a townie is always there to keep her from crossing the border. Her curiosity for what is out there only grows. But when her mother disappears one night, Marnie discovers a diary while searching for Mom. The frantic scribbles reveal that the village leader, Damien Argos, only spoils her as a distraction. The vision he endures accelerate his aging, and he'll need to transfer his soul to her body for immortality and strength to save the village from an apocalypse. Shock shifts to fear as she witnesses Damien sacrifice her mother as part of the ritual. Marnie's hypnotic devotion to Damien shatters, and she escapes the cult town. While on the run, she learns about an outsider proclaiming to know the truth about the apocalypse. I'm not sure how anyone is listening anymore when you showed the dog. Okay, everyone is paying attention to the dog now. The dog is adorable. Hello, doggy.
His name is Marshall, and he is 16.
He is the best. That's the best doggo I've ever seen. Good doggo. Okay, we're going on. Marnie encounters wildlife, hunger, and haunting visions and voices within the unfamiliar part of the woods surrounding her town. Yet she stumbles into Marcus, the diary owner. Together they seek Amalia, the outsider, but with Damien and the cult always right behind them, Marnie cannot truly free herself from his enthralling abilities. Succumbing to Damien jeopardizes not only Marnie's love of exploring, but also her soul and the truth Amalia holds. Then there's the bio and the whatever. So the exiting, the closing. So that's it. So it's a horror. I got this one for you, Lane.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we're going to break it down piece by piece. So let's start again at the beginning. Greetings, Agent. Love it. Yes, greetings to you. Title is a 41,000 words of survival, self-discovery, and found family in a middle grade horror. It hosts a game held by a town in a suspenseful manner of the Bell Woods game by Cecilia Crampion. Also, it features an atmospheric tone with an 11-year-old surviving in the woods, like Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. Marnie is a young girl coping with death like Izzy at the End of the World by K.A. Reynolds. And shout out to K.A. Reynolds and Izzy at the End of the World. I love K.A. Reynolds, so I think I really loved that comp. So what did you think, though, Lane? You're the expert.
I think it's a great comp. I think it has the makings of a great story. I think we need to clear up the transfer of souls immortality. It feels very rushed over. And obviously, I'm just talking about the Quarry, but I like my horror. It was pitched as atmospheric. So it feels sort of fantastical the way the transfer of souls was pitched, as opposed to this creeping atmospheric doom.
Okay. Should we go through like step by step, you think?
Yes.
Okay.
I just gave my overarching thoughts, but let's break it down, Ann Rose.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so 11-year-old Marnie Higgins is the cherished child of her isolated town. No school, no chores, no responsibilities. Her love for exploring often leads her to the town boundaries, where a townie is always there to keep her from crossing the border. Her curiosity for what is out there only grows. So I think that this is fine. It gives us a good setup, right? But I think it just tells us a little bit too much. I don't think we need all of that. I just think that we need to know that 11-year-old Marnie is, is a curious explorer. She has no school, no town, no chores, no rules. I kind of like that little hooky. It's kind of fun. And there's always someone there to kind of watch over her. I think that's kind of what we need, the cut and dry. So I kind of would condense this just a little bit.
Yeah, and I wonder, and I'm thinking, story-wise here, so this is just off the Quarry. I wonder if she knows that she's being watched or huddled back in, because I would think the smarter, more scary way to do it is to not let her know. Because, like in M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, they knew they couldn't go out, so obviously they ran out.
Right. I think that's a great point, right? Like, so is she different than other kids in this town? Is she the only kid in this town? Do all the kids go to school except for her? Like, what it is giving us some information about Marnie. Like, we don't really know. She seems a little carefree, which I think is good, and it could be good, but I think maybe it would make it seem scarier. You're right. If she's not really paying attention. So if it was kind of framed like, she often goes out exploring, but don't worry, there was always someone there to make sure that Marnie was okay. Like it would maybe give us the vibes like she doesn't quite catch on that someone's stopping her from crossing the boundaries. If that makes sense.
Which makes some of the best horror. I'm thinking of films and books. It's like Rosemary's Baby, there's something afoot, but you don't know what it is.
Right. All right. But when her mother disappears one night, Marnie discovers a diary while searching for Mom. So again, we can already condense those two. The frantic scribbles revealed that the village leader, Damien Argos, only spoils her as a distraction. The vision he endures accelerates his aging, and he'll need to transfer his soul to her body for immortality and strength to save the village from an apocalypse.
This goes back to story. I think that's too easy of a find.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see characters that are active, that are throwing themselves head full into the horror, not randomly finding a book that's like, ooh, scary. Even in Evil Dead that I just watched the other day, because it reminds me, because it's a book.
Right.
We see the book of the dead there, but it's the character that goes and picks it up and opens it and reads from it. Not like, oh, I just found it and spooky stuff happened.
Right.
So, I think it would work better if Marnie, she's carefree, she's adventurous, she's out and about. Maybe she's out and about at the wrong time and just happens to hear something. Because how does her looking for the mom who's gone missing lead to finding the diary?
It's a good question. I'm not quite sure. And I think that you're right. And again, obviously we're just going off the query. So we're making big assumptions about the book. The book might obviously make more sense once it's being read, right? But
remember, if you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Not me and Rose, but you know what I mean.
Well, we have to make assumptions, right? Yeah. So as an agent reading this, we're making assumptions about the story so we can see if we want to keep reading it or if we want to pass on it, right? Because I don't know about you, Lane, but I think that my average, I get, 5,000 queries a year. So I have to make some.
I get 35,000 a year. How about that?
Well, you could do the math if you wanted to. I actually did the math.
I have no idea. I just know there's a lot of queries and I'm horrible at responding, and please keep sending them, even though I will probably get torn apart on Twitter for not responding enough.
Them. Well, yeah. I'm really behind on mine, so I can't say much, but I will respond to every single one of them. I'm holding on to a lot of them because I see a lot of potential in them, and so I'm trying to make really, really hard choices in my inbox right now. So, but anyway, that's not why we're here. So we do have to make some assumptions about this. And so her stumbling across a diary that kind of like gives her the answers is maybe giving you pause as a horror enthusiast, right?
Yes.
So I'm not quite sure how that really fits into it or how that all works. So maybe I think what's happening here is that the author is giving us too much information.
Yes. I go back to when I query editors with projects. Mm-hmm. You want to hook them into asking for more. So giving away so much of the plot is dangerous.
Yes. Because we go on. Shock shifts to fear when she witnesses Damien sacrifice her mother as part of a ritual. Marine's hypnotic devotion to Damien shatters. Why does it shatter now? Why didn't it shatter before when she read the book? I don't know, but I'm going to keep going. And while on the run, she learns about an outsider proclaiming to know the truth about the apocalypse. So again, I think we're kind of getting a little ahead of ourselves. We don't really know what it is that's happening or why. And why did this just now shift after Mom, but not after finding the book and knowing that she is going to be the one that has to be sacrificed?
Yes. And it seems like we went from a big stake for Marnie where, homeboy's going to possess her to a mega stake for everyone where the world is going to end.
Right.
I mean, it feels like we got to pick a lane.
Yeah.
Not to be, pun, but pun. So I think there's a lot going on, and this is middle grade, right? Mm-hmm. So I think there's too much going on for a middle grade. Not saying middle graders are stupid or don't have the attention span or whatnot. I think that it's a lot going on for an adult. I think It's just a lot going on.
I'm not as concerned with all of the things happening. I think that you can have the apocalypse and the personal stakes for Marnie here. I think that is fine. That doesn't concern me as much as we're just getting too much information. So it's starting to muddle what the story is about. And so I don't know if we need all of that right here up front in this pitch. Right. So I think because we still have another paragraph to go, which is Marnie encounters wildlife, hunger, and haunting visions. Where did the visions come from? How did those start? I don't know. And voices with an unfamiliar part of the woods surrounding her town. So I guess I'm assuming she escapes into the woods around her town. She stumbles onto Marcus, the diary owner. How does this happen? It seems like a coincidence. I don't know. Together they seek Amalia, the outsider. Where did she come into play? I don't know. Again, you're throwing too much at us. But with Damien and the cult always right behind them, Marnie cannot truly free herself from his enthralling abilities. So she hasn't really gotten out of his hypnotic ways. It seems like he's still somehow controlling her. So again, a little bit confusing. Succumbing to Damien jeopardizes not only Marnie's love of exploring, but also her soul and the truth that Amalia holds. I'm not sure how Amalia and her truth like comes into the plot. I think the stakes are really, I think that there's obvious stakes here. There's an apocalypse. There is the fact that she is going to possibly be possessed, right? And how does that work? I don't know. But once we get to that last paragraph, like it muddies the water completely for me for the entire story, because I don't quite understand how that all comes into play.
Yeah, I mean, it's so muddy, we don't even get to how or why the world's going to end.
Yeah.
And just another technical note, naming the big bad Damien is do yourself a favor and change his name, because editors are going to say, oh, that's so cliche.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah, Damien, the Omen, Rosemary's Baby. It's like the quote-unquote Antichrist name of the year.
So we should call him George or something.
Oh, George, I like that. Yeah, George Glass, which is a hilarious name because that's Jan Brady's boyfriend.
Imaginary boyfriend. Yes. No, come on. That's George Glass.
George Glass. I love George Glass.
He's amazing.
I know. We have an assistant named George Glass.
No, we do not have an assistant named.
No, we don't.
We're going to give our assistant what is that? I don't know what it's called. They're going to feel terrible when you tell people.
Sorry, Todd. I didn't mean it.
That they're George Glass.
Sorry, Todd.
Yeah. Sorry, Todd. We love you. Thank you for everything you do for us. Okay. So overall, I mean, okay, all the ranting and whatever aside, I'd still kind of look at the pages.
So would I, to be honest.
I mean, we really ripped you apart here, and we're sorry. Obviously, we don't mean to be. We're not trying to be mean or anything like that. Obviously, we're just trying to give you a little bit of insight of what we're seeing on our side. But at the end of the day, like it did kind of do what it needed to do. But I don't think you needed to give all of this to make us want to look at it. I was kind of interested in looking at it just from the first paragraph in the comps, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think this could be condensed down quite a bit. Again, goals, obstacle, stakes. Just give us like the meat, who your main character is, what is it that they want, what happens if they, what stands in their way, what happens if they fail. I keep saying this over and over every episode, so people maybe are getting sick of it. But I think
Shakespeare said you have to say something 3 times before the audience remembers it.
Oh, is it? Just 3?
Yes, but then I think someone much smarter than me said later it had to be 7.
Yeah, I've heard that they have to see something at least 7 times in order to remember it.
There you go.
So I don't know. So, okay. Well, so your query is successful in the fact that you have 2 people that would definitely look at the pages should you send this to us, even though we were yanking it apart in 16 different directions. So, author, good job. You have something very interesting here. I think that you have a lot of great stakes here. I think that you probably do have a really atmospheric read here. I think you're just giving us a little too much away in this query. So I think I would pull it back just a touch. And yeah, that's where I would go. And if you want to send it to Lane, he may or may not respond to your query.
Don't kill me, please. I try my best. That's all I can do. I'm human. I'm not a vampire or a demon or Damien. My name's Lane. Yeah. I'm a human.
You're a street.
Exactly.
You're a bowling alley.
That just destroyed my universe. I'm a bowling alley.
Because you throw it down the lane.
I know. It broke my heart, Anne Rose.
I love bowling. Why would that make you sad? Bowling's fun.
I don't know.
I mean, the shoes. Now we can have a whole conversation about the shoes, but bowling itself is a good time.
Okay. I take that.
Yeah.
I accept that. Why don't you take us out?
All right. So that is us for another episode of Quelling Your Query Conundrums with me, Anne Rose, and Leigh Haymon. So if you have a query that you are just conundruming about, please go ahead and send it to us at the email below. And we would love to rip it apart, help you make it better at the end of the day is what we're trying to do here. So I don't know. What do I usually say at this time?
Like, subscribe, join our Patreon, go fishing with your friends.
You know what I'm going to start doing, because I think that I should start promoting myself, which is the fact that I have a book coming out. So all of you should also go out and buy or pre-order The Seemingly Impossible Love Life of Amanda Dean from Berkeley Penguin Random House. It is coming out in September because, I feel like a little self-promo. Maybe I should just say that every time now. I think I am.
You should. And I actually read it, and it was laugh out loud, funny, and good. And if it weren't, I would say it's not my cup of tea, but it was actually really, really good. And I was hooked from page one.
Excellent.
I was kind of hoping I wouldn't be so I could make a joke about it, but I was.
Well, it's not a rom-com, it's a romance, but I think I'm funny, so I try to put a little humor in there,
It's funny.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. So anyway, like, subscribe, buy The Seemingly Impossible Love Life of Amanda Dean from me and Rose, and we will see you next time on Quelling Your Query Conundrums.